and welcome to Baby's Crafty Haven. I am Belinda, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Today we have the Just Your Imagination Challenge with our host Brenda from Rustic and Lace and Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe DIYs with our co-host Small Farm Living. Today we have 3 challenge items, an egg carton, a plastic bag, and a doily. This video is a St. Patrick's Day video. I made 4. I'm not sure if I'm going to fit all 4 in the video. We'll see. Hopefully I can. But I want to thank you for everyone for stopping by. The playlist for this challenge will be in the description box below. Please remember to give everyone a thumbs up and subscribe to these channels if you haven't. It really helps their channels grow. It helps YouTube notice them and me. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed and given me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So again, thanks for stopping by today, and we'll get on with our St. Patrick's DIYs. DIY number 1. We're going to start this out with that first challenge item, the egg carton, and we're going to cut out, actually cut out 4 of these to start with, but then I ended up needing a 5th one, and the little spots, the little cups that the eggs sit in, that's what you're going to cut out, and then you're going to cut each corner of that, so you end up with like 4 pieces, and once you get them cut and it's laid like flat out like that, you're going to take your scissors and kind of round out the edges. And you're going to do that on all 4 of those, I don't know what you want to call them, flaps. That'd be a good word for it, flaps. And each one will be rounded out. I started out, you're going to see me with 4, but towards the end I end up making another one. So I end up actually making 5. And once I get that cut and rounded out, that's what you end up with. Looks like a little flower. And then I cut out like a little stem out of the cardboard of the egg carton. And I just hot glue that onto the back. This is actually a 4-leaf clover. Or at least that's what I'm going to say it is and turn it into that. Once I get them all painted with the green, I use like a forest green. I take these beads and the holes to the beads, I make sure they're standing outwards, like off to the side, like it's horizontal. And I hot glue these all down to all of the 4-leaf clovers. Then we take these macrame rings that I got from Dollar Tree, and we take the mop head from Dollar Tree. And what I do is that I just loop it through the ring, just like this, and I make 4 sets of these, and I use 8 pieces of the mop, and then I unravel it. So see, I make 4 of those. And then once I get those 4, I took a toilet paper roll and cut a little strip, and obviously I lost some footage of me actually looping the yarn through, but I did it just like I did the macrame ring. And then I'm just taking the yarn and pushing it through the hole so we can get it to look like a little beanie. And once I get all that pushed through and straightened out, I will take a tie and tie that off. I also make 4 of these, and I do cut off the excess. And then I just double knot that. And that's it for that. And then I do cut off the excess, which I don't think I show. But I made 4 of them. Once I get all 4 of those made and the tops of them cut down, just like you see right there, I kind of brush it out just to straighten it out a little bit. I take one of these beads, I don't know the size, and I put hole down onto the top of that. Well, you can see what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to explain. But I just put it on top of the mop head rope, and then I stick my hat on top, and I just hot glue that down. And then I take scissors and I trim the beard of my gnome. And I kind of do it like at an angle until I get it to the length that I like. And then I do what I do to this one I did to all of them. Once I get all of them done, I take some of these resin things that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to glue them to the corner of each of the hats. I used 2 greens and 2 golds. I didn't want the green on the green or the gold on the gold, so that's why I used 2 different colors, so I could use the different colors on the different hats. And then I take some jute, and I do put a little tape on the end, and I just start stringing all of this through. And I just string the hat through the hats, the loops on the hats, and you can see me just stringing through it all. And you can see where I use the beads on the 4-leaf clovers to string them through the jute. We're going to make a garland. And then once I get all these done and strung through, I took some fabric. See, there's the 5th one I made of the 4-leaf clover. Fabric, I just took some green and some of this gingham orange, and we're just going to loop it through. And I do in between each of the clovers and all the way down. And I just take it and I just loop it through. All the way. Just like that. Seems to be the theme of this project, is just looping things. But once I get all that finished, this is what it looks like. You'll get a better view of it in the final reveal. It's kind of hard to show here, but this is it for this project. Please let me know in the description box below what you think. And now we're on to project number 2. And in this project, we're going to use the plastic bag. And I just cut it out. I just cut out the top part and use the plain part. Now, this is the first time I've actually ever used it. I mean, I've used paper plastic bags to stuff things with, but I've never actually painted a plastic bag. So this was kind of a new thing to me. And I did use that forest green, and I painted the front and the back. And being that this was new to me, I wasn't really sure what to do. So I did paint one side after it dried with Mod Podge, just to see. One side with Mod Podge, one side not, just because I was experimenting. You really don't have to do that at all. Matter of fact, it's better if you don't. For at least the project that I did, it would have been better if I hadn't. So I do paint back to back, and then I cut strips, which I've left out. My camera's been freezing on me, so some things get a little choppy. But once I cut them out in strips, that plastic bag, I cut little squares. And then we take this 4-leaf clover or 3-leaf clover, it's wooden clover, and I paint it in that forest green. Then once we get that done, I take some tacky glue, and as you can see, I just kind of spread a little bit on the top. I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm just going to stick the pencil in the middle of that little square and kind of wrap it around the pencil. You may have done this in grade school, but usually with tissue paper. And you just stick it down. It took me a minute to get a rhythm, but I did that for all of it. And then once I finally got a rhythm, this is kind of what it started to look like. I did eventually trim that down and form it a little better. But again, I just take my pencil and stick it in the middle and kind of crunch and twist that around the pencil and just stick it down in the glue. Just like that. I got this from Dollar Tree. And all I'm going to do with this is take my white from Appleberry and do a heavy dry brush across the board. And I didn't care if I got, like I said, I just wanted to do a heavy brush. So if I got some heavier in other spots, it was fine with me. But I really liked how this turned out. So anyways, after that, I take these little cauldrons that you can get at Dollar Tree, usually around this time of year or around Halloween, and I cut it in half. And then, because I didn't want the shine to it, I went ahead and painted it black. You can see the matted version versus the shiny version, and I wanted the matte version. matted version. And I just took some hot glue, and we are going to glue that at the bottom middle of the sign. And then once I get that on and secured, I took some foam and I stuck the foam down in the cauldron or pot. And now I'm taking my clover and I'm sticking it towards the bottom of the pot, kind of catty-cornered. And then I'm going to take these coins that you can get from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to start randomly gluing them down. Not only do I glue them inside of the pot, I also glue them on the outside to make it look like it's kind of spilled over a little bit. So I just continued to do that until I thought it looked full and good to my eyes. But you can add as many as you'd like. And like I said, I added some to the side to make it look like it's kind of spilling over a little bit. And then once I get this done, I think I lost some footage on this as well. I take 1-inch letters and I paint them gold, and I would glue them around the clover. It says Lucky. Yeah, see, I lost some footage on that and I apologize. I make a shoestring bow out of jute, and I just tie that to the top of our pot, and I trim down the tails. And then I take this little hat that I got out of that resin off of Amazon, and I just hot glue that down. And that is it for this project. Please let me know in the description box below what you think of this one. I think it turned out pretty cute. I like it a lot. And that puts us on to DIY number 3, which is one of my favorites. This project came out pretty good. I used those cardboards. I got some of that just out of random cardboards I had around the house, and that round thing I got from a pack of pots and pans we had just bought. It came out of it, but it was perfectly round. It was perfect. But you can always make a round something like that out of cardboard as well. But I'm going to take these and cover all that cardboard in that green fabric. And then, and I just use hot glue to tack all that down, but I'm trying to cut off some of the excess right here. And like I said, I just use hot glue. And I just cover all of that up with the hot glue. And then I hot glued the bigger, rounder piece at the bottom, and I stuck the smaller piece down into the round circle or the cylinder. And then I use this green jute I have to cover up the edging of those pieces. And I just used hot glue. Once we got all those pieces down, I took some of this black fabric and folded it over and hot glued it so I'd have smooth edges. And we're just going to wrap that around. And I know it's a little short, but I do take some more black and just cover that up. And it's in the back, so it's not really that noticeable anyways. But I just hot glue that strip down to the base of the hat. And then after that, I take some of this jute and I just hot glue it starting at the back, which you can see where I covered up with some extra black fabric. And I just continually wrap it around the middle of that black fabric until I thought it looked good or full to my eyes. It doesn't completely cover the black though. It just stays right in the middle, and then I just hot glued it in the back again once I felt it was covered enough. And then I'm going to take some of my wax and we're going to dirty this up, and I take a wet wipe or baby wipe and I just rub it all over this hat, top, bottom, sides, brim of the hat, everywhere there's a spot that I thought it would look good, I guess. But I completely cover this hat in that. And we make it look a little rustic. Once I get that done, I'm going to take this doily, or piece of a doily, and I'm going to take some of my tacky glue. Oh, I also made strips of the doily, and I have these strips, and I covered them all in antique wax. And then I have some of that greenery that I just wrapped jute around. And then I'm going to take some of my tacky glue and put some tacky glue on this fabric. I thought it'd be better than hot glue. And at first I put the glue on the wrong end, so I had to put more tacky glue on it. But I'm going to kind of just wrap it, starting at the top of the jute, and kind of wrap it up and over the top and around. And then I also take some more of that doily and put it on the brim of the hat below the jute and below the black strip of fabric, so it looks like it kind of goes up and under it. And you can kind of see it in this frame. And then I take a tag and I painted it white. It's a wooden tag. I'm not even sure where I got it. I found it in my stash. And I take some antique wax and put it around the rim. And then I take some of this green distressing ink and put it around the tag as well. And then I do a little bit of the more wax around it. And then I take this little bead, not sure where I got it from, this little gem, and I just stick it in the middle of that tag. This is one of my favorite projects. I really love how this turned out. And then I just put some jute through the tag, and then we're going to take some of our ribbon that I already tied on the eucalyptus. I don't even know if that's what you call them or not, but I just tie one knot around it, and I did that with the orange, and then I did it with the doily, and it's just one wrap. And then I'm going to hot glue that down, but first I'm going to figure out where I want the tag. So here's me just trying to size up where I want the tag and the eucalyptus. Once I figure that, I put a bunch of hot glue down, and it took me a minute to figure out how to hot glue that down. It was a little top heavy, the greenery. I ended up having to hot glue some of the greenery to the hat as well, and not just at the base. You're going to see it fall over here in a little bit, but once I tack down more of the greenery onto the hat, it stays perfectly fine, and it's been perfectly fine ever since. But I kind of angled the tag onto the hat, and I hot glue that down. See, there goes my greenery. It fell over. See, and then once I start tacking the greenery to the hat, then it stays. And then the last and final step to this is cutting some of that ribbon off, excess ribbon. And that is it for this project. I love how this turned out. I love the way this looks. Let me know in the description box below what you think. And that is it for this project. I think it turned out beautiful. And now we're on to our fourth project. I was able to fit all four into this video. Now this wood I got from Woodpecker's Craft, and I'm going to cover it completely in my wax. Now let's see if I can explain this. Okay, I used black at first, and we're going to rustic it up with the black, using it on the edges. And I do kind of use it in the middle as well, and I'm using a baby wipe to do this. And I do go back and forth with the black quite often. I also take some of a lighter brown color and go in there as well. And I kind of go back and forth with this light brown color versus the black. And I use a baby wipe every time to blend it in. And then I take a dry brush and I'll dry brush the edges with the black. I don't know if I show it all. I'm trying to explain it. It was kind of hard to explain. I didn't want to show every bit of it because the video would be twice as long. But there's the brown I use. This is what I was talking about. And it's almost like trying to make something galvanized. Same concept. You just kind of go back and forth between the colors until it looks good to you and to your eyes. And that's kind of what I did. I kind of went back and forth between the brown and the black until I felt it looked the way I got the look that I was looking for. And then I take 3 of these clovers and that forest green, and I paint all of them. And then I kind of do the same concept. I take the wax and I wax them, all of them, the whole clover with the wax. And then I'm going to take black and go around the edges. And then I take that light brown and I dry brush the brown on top of that. So here I am. I'm just taking the black, and I use my fingers, and sometimes I use a little bit of baby wipe to blend it in. But once I get all that black on, that's when I just take a dry brush and dry brush the brown on it, which I'm not sure if I showed that or not. But a lot of you guys know how to dry brush. It's similar to the white that I did in the beginning. I just dry brushed it on. take a little bit on your brush and then tap it off. I also got this from Woodpecker's Craft, and I paint the lucky and the gold, and the clover I do just like I did the clovers that I just showed you. I paint it with the black and the brown and the hunter green. And then here's the clovers, and you can see where I dry brush the brown, if that makes sense now. And once I get that done, I take some more of that doily and I cut strips and rubbed it in my antique wax. And I'm going to take a couple little small strips and kind of fold it in the middle. I also made 3 little bows out of the jute. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to take some hot glue, and we're going to take that little piece of doily and hot glue that to the middle. And then we're going to put our little shoestring jute bow on top of that, and we're just going to hot glue that down as well. And then I'm going to take a little half bead, which I'm not sure the size, that I covered in wax, and we're going to put that in the middle of our jute bow. And what I do to this one, I do to all 3. I do to the other 2. So all 3 look the same. And I think this turned out so cute. Oh my god, I love this project so much. This and the hat are my 2 favorites. But anyways, but that's what it looks like. I think it came out really cute. And then I take some, it's not raffia, Celsior. And I put some Celsior down, and I just hot glue that down. And then I'm going to take those little spiral wire beads that you can get. They have like little berries on them. You can get them at Dollar Tree. They usually have them around the holidays. And I took 2 little pieces of those, and I stuck those down in the middle of the Celsior and kind of twisted them and just hot glued those down. And then we're going to take the clover and stick that on top of that. And what I do to this clover, I do to the other 2, but on the sides of the horseshoe. But that's exactly what I do to it, and I do that to the other 2 as well. Same concept. And then once I get that down, we're gonna glue down our lucky. See, oh, that's so cute. I love that, how that turned out. And then we're gonna take the lucky, and we're gonna use a little wood glue and hot glue to glue that down as well. Once I get that situated the way I want it, I kind of wanted it to go at an angle. And once I get that set, I try to mark where I want the glue and hot glue. I also put a jute hanger on this, but I don't believe I show that. My pencil ran out of lead, so here I am just using a marker, just trying to mark up where everything is so I know where to put the glue. And then once I get this glued down, that's pretty much it, besides me putting a hanger on it, which like I said, I don't think I show, but it after I declog my wood glue. But yeah, that's it for this project. You have to let me know what you think in the description box below of this. I think this turned out great. Again, I got the wood products from Woodpecker's Craft. I love it. I love how this turned out. This is amazing. And I think it turned out, I just love it. I love this, and I love the hat. I amazed myself with what I did with these projects and how they turned out. And here's the final reveal. I'm going to show you the first 3, and then the last final reveal shows the garland. Here's 3 of the 4 projects we did. The little pot of gold, our horseshoe, and our hat. I love that. I love how that turned out, and I love the way the doily sits on it, and it's just beautiful. But I also had to show you guys, when I opened up my fabric drawer, somebody made a bed, and I couldn't close my fabric drawer, so I had to leave it open for her because she thought this was a bed. So that's Tootsie. That's my cat Tootsie. She's so cute and very loving. And here is the garland. I had to hang it up so you guys could get a better look at it. But here's the little gnomes and the 4-leaf clovers. I think it turned out cute. I actually love how this one turned out. Actually, I love all the projects, but I really love this. And that is it. Please remember to let me know in the description box below what you think. And please remember to like and subscribe. And I will see all of you on my next video.